Okay, we're now on to looking at the area of a circle, so let's get into it. So area is the space inside the shape, so if your circle is here, the area is the space inside that shape, so that bit there. Now, if we are given the radius or the diameter of a circle, we can work out the area using the formula below. So this is a really important formula in maths, which is the area A is equal to pi times the radius squared. Okay, so if you're given the radius or the diameter, so if you're given double the radius, you could just half it, okay? And this is a really important formula that I would make a note of it now, because we're going to be using it in the next few slides. Okay, so there's our formula up there, and let's go through them my turn. So calculate the area of the circle below. So you're given a circle with a radius of 5, and it says answer in terms of pi, first of all, and then part B, answer to one decimal place. So let's just go through this. So first of all, we know that the area A is equal to pi times the radius, and the radius here is just 5, so 5, and then you do squared. Now, 5 squared is equal to 25, so it's going to be 25 times pi, or 25 pi, and that is your answer. Okay, and really, because the unit is centimetre, it should be centimetre, and area is always something squared. So that is your answer, okay, in terms of pi. 25 pi, you've got a pi in your answer. Now, part B, it's just a case of putting this into your calculator. So let's go and do that. Let's go and get our calculator, which is over here. And let's type in, just type in 25, and then you can go on the Casio, go shift, and then pi for me is down here, equals to, then put it into a decimal, and to one decimal place, it's going to be 78.5. So 78.5 cm squared, and that's your answer. So 25 pi is the same thing as 78.5, just in different formats. Okay, that's in terms of pi, and that's putting it as a decimal. So you can pause the video, give that question a go, and then I'll go through it now. Again, part A, let's get the area of the circle, and we know that the formula is this up here. So the area is equal to pi times the radius, where the radius is equal to 3. So it's pi times 3 and then squared. Now, 3 squared, 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So you've got 9 and you've got pi on the end. And again, your unit is going to be centimetre and then squared. So 9 pi cm squared is simply your answer. And then part B, again, it's just a case of putting it into your calculator. So typing in 9 pi. So 9 shift, and then pi is down here, equals to, press that, it should be 28.3 if you round it to 1 dp. So there we go. So 28.3 cm squared. And that is your answer, okay? Now we'll just go through a couple more questions. This is very, very similar, but just the difference this time is they give you the diameter and not the radius. And we know that the radius, okay, in the formula, radius is half of the diameter. So you've got to go and half this number here. So the first one, again, it's just going to be the area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Well, this time the radius is going to be half of 5. Okay, half of 5 is equal to 2.5. Okay, so timesing it by 2.5 and then squared. And we can put this into our calculator. So, right, well, actually, 2.5 squared, the way that I would write this personally is, right, 5 divided by 2, I would actually write this as a fraction. I'd keep it as 5 over 2, because 5 over 2 means 5 divided by 2. You could also write it as 2.5. It is up to you. In fact, probably for the sake of ease, I'm going to just put in here, my radius is going to be 2.5. And then we can go and square 2.5. Now, I'm going to use my calculator here, but just to do 2.5 and then squared. Okay, so, oh no, that's what I want, 2.5 squared. There we go, which is 6.25. So it's going to be equal to 6.25 and then pi, and that's it. 2.5 squared is 6.25, and then you've got pi there, and your answer is going to be C squared, and that is it. Okay, your answer, importantly there, is in terms of pi, which is really important. Okay, and then part B, give your answer to 1 dp. Now this is just a case of typing in the whole thing in your calculator, so we can go and do 6.25, and then timesing it by shift and then by pi. So we're just typing in this into the calculator, press equals to, it will give you it as a fraction, but then you press this one. So 19.6 to 1 decimal place. Okay, so let's go put that in. 19.6 cm squared to 1 decimal place. And that is your answer for this one. Okay, so quickly you can just try this one here, and that's going to be it for this video. Calculate the area of the circle, and let's go through this again. Again, the radius is what you need in the formula. You've got radius squared, so you've got to go and half 7. So you're doing 7 divided by 2, which is equal to 3.5. Now, area is equal to pi times the radius, which is 3.5, and then we're squaring 3.5. Okay, I'm just going to go and square 3.5 in the calculator. So 3.5 and then squared is equal to 12.25. So 12.25, and then you've got the pi also on the end. What you could do, just to make it clear here, right, 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. You could have done, right, pi times the radius and left as a fraction and then squared the fraction. And then you could say, well, 7 squared is 49 and 2 squared is 4. You could also write the answer like this, 49 over 4 pi. This and this, they mean the same thing. But just for ease's sake, I've just written it as a decimal, okay, for the time being. And the answer is going to be cm squared. So you can write it in different ways, but as a decimal, as a fraction, but let's just keep it like this for the time being. That's fine. Okay, and then the next part, we've got to put it to one little place. So just a case of typing it into your calculator. So we're going to refresh it and press 12.25, and then we're going to times that shift by pi. And then, yeah, so look, you can see there, if I type it in my calculator, it puts as a fraction 49 over 4, which is what I've done over here. But then we've got to put it as a decimal, which is 38.5 if you round it. So 38.5, oh, where's the pen gone? 38.5 cm squared. And that is your answer for this one. Good. And that is it for this video. And any questions? Of course, you can comment, but hopefully that was useful. And if you got those correct, then well done. Thank you for watching.